Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
My first Castle Panic is a children's version of Castle Panic. Now, Castle Panic is a light family-type cooperative game. So you're looking at this like how much they have to dumb it down. So my first Castle Panic is made probably, I mean, it says 4 on the box. That's probably right. My 8-year-old played it with us, 8 and 6-year-old, and we had a pretty good time with it. But after playing it once on regular, they're like, Dad, does this have a hard mode? So let me start there. The first mode, the base mode, is fairly easy. I'm not sure that you're going to lose this one very often, and that's bringing out one monster a turn. I feel like that maybe if the tiles came out in a certain area, or if you just didn't have the cards, but it seemed like we normally, because you can share cards and help others, that we normally had something to do. Now, on the hard one where you bring out 2 monsters, that can get away from you really quickly. I think that's almost so luck-based on being able to win that, because you can only kill at max 1 monster per turn, but 2 are coming out. So it really pushes ahead rather quickly, and I feel like that's really difficult. I think the medium one, even though they call it hard, might be just playing with just the wall inside the castle, but if one guy gets away from you, you're screwed. So I think there might be not a complexity problem, but a difficulty problem here. I feel like the game is really easy, and that's okay with a 4-year-old. I just think that my children are going to grow out of the game rather quickly because it isn't hard enough. That's fine. I think with younger kids, when I'm teaching them games, I do want them to win more. I want the difficulty rating to be lower because I want them to have that successful win, so they like playing board games. I know some parents aren't like that. They want their kids to lose, so they have to earn that win. I think, my personal, is that you're going to turn people off board games more than you're going to turn them on. And I've kind of learned that with my kids, that I want to get to that initial win, then a loss, and now I want them to earn it. And I think that works really well just to get people into gaming versus getting them out. They're getting crushed over and over and over again. People might say, hey, this isn't for me, and move on. Enough about that. So I feel like the game has a problem with it being a little bit too easy. That's fine because it's a younger age. The artwork on the cards are really nice, but all that really matters is the symbols that are on them. The symbols are really big. You can easily find those. There's a lot of options. The game really comes down to, is there a card that can be played? If yes, it can be played. If not, it can't. Find somebody to help you. If not, you know what? You couldn't do anything. Now you have another option for next time. It's a very simple game to play. I think kids 4 or 5 could probably play this, learn it, like it. The little monsters are coming out. The components are fine. I like the 3D pieces for the wall and the castle. I think everything fits here. I think they've done a really good job of taking that big Castle Panic and bringing it down into something that younger kids can play. I've always wanted to play Castle Panic with my family. I haven't done it yet because there's a little bit going on there. I wasn't quite ready. There's a lot of good kids games. I was going to kind of keep them in the area of games they should be in and then build them up, maybe around 9, 10, something like Castle Panic. So now I had an option. I pre-ordered this one. I was super excited to get it, and it was a huge hit. We ended up playing it 3 times in a row. Boom, 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 right away. But after that first time, my kids were ready to bump up the difficulty. They felt it was too easy. That's a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old playing with myself, pretty much letting them run the game, and I'm just a warm body that's there. So, with all of that said, I think they did a good job here. I think it's a keeper. I think this is one, if you like the My First Stone Age, you like seeing those bigger games, hey, you like this, you've kind of mastered it, now let's go play the real Castle Panic. Let's go play the real Stone Age and kind of get your kids into it. I think it accomplishes that. So for me, 2 thumbs up for My First Castle Panic. I think they've done a really good job of distilling it down. I like the symbols that they use, very easy to see. The artwork is nice and clean for little kids. Excellent job. Absolute keeper. Support games like this. Support games that are doing something more than a spinner and a roll and move. I think your family will have a very good time with this. Absolute keeper for me. So here's My First Castle Panic, which is the children's version. We're going to take a look at the components. You have the monsters that don't look too mean. They're running away from the kid heroes, so it's very, very kid-friendly. Tells you it's a cooperative game right on the front if you are familiar with what those mean. And you have the different characters that will be in the game. If you open it up, you're going to see a 1-page rulebook, which we'll get to in a minute. You're going to have a board that is really just a track. You start here and they run down this path. So it's one of the paths or 4s in the main game. Then you'll see not a whole lot of context in here. Lots of open space. There's nothing underneath this. This is everything in the game. Going to have this cardboard wall that you will make. You'll have this castle that will stand behind it. Those will be your 2 hit points. Then you're going to get these cards, which are actually fairly good cards. You're going to get 4 player aids and then the cards that will represent the heroes. The pictures on them really don't mean much. You're going to have these little circles and stuff, which I'll show you in the play, that mean something. Then you're going to have the card that builds a wall and a card that kicks them in the booty. So these cards are okay, good quality. And then you're going to have your tiles. These will be the monsters that will be coming out. They have kind of cutesy artwork on them, if you will, for the bad guys. Nothing too scary here. You can see this is the main guy that you will have over and over again, so it does repeat quite a bit. This guy's a little bit stronger, and so on. These tiles are really nice. Kids will be able to play with these with no problems. As for components, they're fine. I feel like for game balancing purposes, there probably should have been more of these coming in, and I would have enjoyed more of these specialty ones, but maybe to keep it simple for kids, they didn't put that much in there. But otherwise, component-wise and quality, the game is nice. Start the game, you're going to put the little monsters with the stars on them on the first 3 spots. Everybody's going to get 1 card face up, and this will kind of be your hand. I'm just going to place it here so you can easily see it, but it does say the cards are played up front so everybody can see them and easily reference them. On your turn, what you're going to do is draw a card, so you will always have 2 to choose from, but in reality, you can choose from anybody. So you can either play a card from your hand or request help from somebody else, and then you could use their card. So if this was my friend Madeline's card, I could use her card on my turn. I guess you would have to ask for permission, but if it's the only move you have, then why wouldn't you? And a lot of the strategy is going to come down to just killing whoever's in the front, if at all possible, I suppose. Once you decide, you draw your card, you decide which one you're going to play. You look at the spot here. So this guy here is on a blue square. I have a card that has a blue square on it, so I could discard this card, and this guy would be defeated and come out of the game. And they make a point to show you that the inside of the box is like a dungeon, which is really cute. So you can just throw this guy in the dungeon. You're not actually killing him. You're just taking him as a prisoner. So anytime I say you kill him or capture him, you're just throwing them inside the box. So then what you would do is you move everybody forward, and you bring a new monster out. He starts on the first spot. Now, some of these monsters will do different things. So this one right here, you just put him in the front of the line when he comes out. This one right here, when he comes out, he will always bump everybody up. So first thing you do is move. Then when he comes out, you bump everybody up an additional spot, including himself. And the third and final monster you have does the same thing as the pusher. So at the beginning of the turn, you would move everybody up a spot. You would bring this guy out. He then moves everybody up a spot, including himself. But he allows another tile to come out, and you would place him there. So, very easy. At the beginning of your turn, you draw a card, you play a card or ask for help, move the monsters up, and then you play a monster token, which may have a special ability. So how do you win? You win if you capture all the monsters. You lose when a monster gets to the wall space, you get rid of the wall. Now, this is not a space to move on, as there's no way to kill anybody there. And if a guy comes up and kills it, he is gone. If another monster comes up and knocks over the castle, he would also die, but you would lose the game. So you basically get 2 hits. If 2 monsters get all the way to the end of the path, you lose. If you're able to kill all the monsters, you win. The game is very easy. Very easy, I feel like, on the delay setting. There is variance to make it harder. So instead of putting out 1 monster a turn, you'd put out 2. I feel that really ramps it up. And because you only play 1 card per turn, I feel like it's going to be really hard for you to keep up with that. In addition, there's a way to keep it also a hard level where you play without the wall. So you only get 1 hit point. That might be the preferred method to play. Otherwise, I think you're going to have this balance issue, whether it's too easy or if it's too hard. That is my first Castle Planet. Who should buy this game? I think anybody who has young kids, 3, 4, 5 years old, 6 years old, be looking at My First Castle Panic. It's a really great way to introduce kids into this concept of defending the walls of a castle, having them come in. The bad guys are coming. We have to work together in this cooperative nature. We can all use our cards. They're face up. What's going to work? Oh, you have less cards. That's because you've been more helpful. So now you're drawing one each turn. I really like what this game has. It has a lot of good gaming concepts to teach kids, from cooperative, sharing. It has symbol recognition. It has a goal that you're trying to do that are very easy for kids to understand. Defend that castle. And they get it. I found this to be a very excellent game. I think on the kid spectrum, I'd probably give this an 8 or a 9 on BGG for kids. I think your children will enjoy it, especially if they can get into the theme a little bit. And I let them just kind of be the alpha dog. I let them lead the charge. And I kind of sit back, just make sure the rules are being followed, which are very simple. My kids picked up on it instantly, 6-year-old and 8-year-old, and we had a great time. I highly recommend this one. Check this one out and pick it up for the family. My First Castle Panic. It's a keeper. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.